Cardoso. Oh no. Free Kamilla Cardoso. She is fed up with the Chicago Sky experiment.
When your team loses by 27 points to a roster missing its star player, you don't just have a problem, you have a catastrophe. And Kamilla Cardoso, she's had enough. This wasn't just a loss, it was a public basketball mugging. And the Chicago Sky walked right into it like they'd never played defense in their lives, the Indiana Fever. Without Caitlin Clark embarrass the Sky on their home floor like it was personal.
Went into Chicago and just spanked buns, man. Straight embarrassed the Chicago Sky. I mean, what a game. 79-52. Whew, talk about putting belt to rear end.
And let's be real, if Caitlin had suited up that night, it would have been a 50-point demolition easily. But that's not even the most humiliating part. What really stole the show was Kamilla Cardoso's body language, icy, disconnected, visibly fed up. And who was she stuck on the floor while the wheels fell off, you guess it, Angel Reese?
I've got to be completely honest here. We have to talk about this. She's just not that good. Like, she's just not that good. She's not bad.
Angel Reese, this is supposed to be the duo. This is supposed to be the franchise. Instead, we're watching the basketball equivalent of a bad breakup in slow motion. At this point, the only chemistry between Reese and Cardoso is static electricity from a friction between them. Reese is out here forcing shots and turning the ball over like it's a hobby, while Cardoso just stands there like a Michelin star chef watching someone burn toast.
Oh, Angel Reese with her, 12 rebounds, 4 points is all she got? Bro, didn't I say Angel Reese ain't no good, bro? She just social media star. You saw that outfit she had on? Like, it's freaking hot in Chicago. And she got that hat and that coat. Well, I guess because she's cold, because she couldn't make a bucket. She was cold from the floor. She was trash. Like, Angel Reese is not a good basketball player. I've been telling y'all that. But y'all don't want to get in your feelings that you're like, oh, you're a hater. You're a sellout. No, sellout, bro. I'm just an honest basketball fan. A real basketball fan would tell you the truth. Like, yeah, she kind of sucks and she needs to work on her game.
And here's the kicker. Caitlin Clark wasn't even in the building. Let that marinate. The Fever set their franchise player. And they still ran the Sky out of the gym. The final score, a disgusting 79-52 blowout. The Fever didn't beat Chicago. They dissected them, rebuilt them from scratch, and then set them on fire again. And Kamilla Cardoso, she looked like she was mentally checking Zillow for condos in literally any other city.
Look at this. Nice pass from Courtney Vandersloot in between Colson and Natasha Howard, and Angel Reese just chucks it up. She just throws it at the rim. No technique, no fundamentals, nothing that looks like anything a person over the age of 12 years old would take part in. If you're 8, 9, 10 years old and you could barely reach the rim, okay, maybe you chuck shots like this.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. United Center was packed to the rafters with over 20,000 fans expecting fireworks. And instead, they got a basketball cremation ceremony. The Chicago Sky just got absolutely obliterated by the Indiana Fever. But the real story isn't a 27-point beatdown. It's not even Angel Reese's catastrophic 4-point performance on 2 of 7 shooting that had fans questioning if she forgot how to play basketball overnight. No, the real story is written all over Kamilla. Cardoso's face a mixture of disgust, frustration, and what can only be described as a look of someone mentally drafting their trade. Request you want to know how bad the situation has become. Cardoso, the 6 feet 7 inches in former South Carolina national champion, who was supposed to be the Sky's franchise cornerstone, looked like she was attending her own basketball funeral. Every missed shot by Reese, every blown defensive assignment, every turnover, you could see Cardoso dying a little more inside. This isn't just about one bad game. This is about a partnership that was supposed to revolutionize Chicago basketball, turning into the most expensive therapy session in WNBA history.
This is actually like our worst loss of the season when you consider that we played a team without Caitlin Clark, without Sophie Cunningham, and even without their head coach, Stephanie White. Angel fans want Angel to be traded. Kamilla fans want Kamilla to be traded. Sky Town just wants the season to be over. Overall, it is just not looking good for us as an organization and as a fan base. There's still no updates on Sloot, if you were wondering, or at the very least.
Let's rewind. Before this disaster, the Sky had big dreams coming into this season. They brought back veteran leadership in Courtney Vanderloot, added scoring punch with Ariel Atkins, and hired Tyler Marsh, a championship-winning assistant from the Las Vegas. Ace's plan was simple: surround Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso with the right pieces and watch the magic happen. Instead, they're watching their season burn down faster than a paper house. In a tornado, the numbers from Saturday night tell a story of complete basketball. Collapse, the Sky shot 18 to 55 from the field, that's 32. 7% for those keeping track, and managed just 3 of 15 from three-point range. But here's what the box score doesn't show. Cardoso's body language throughout the game was louder than a fire alarm at 3 a.m. Multiple sequences showed her literally walking away from plays involving her shoulders slumped in resignation, looking like a woman who's reached her breaking point and found it was about 3 Angel repossessions ago.
Turning your back to your team, walking away from the active plays going on, walking away from the actual basketball action. Yeah, Kamilla Cardoso is not a happy camper over there in Chicago, and I don't blame her. Again, this is another year of the same nonsense.
And can we talk about the elephant in the room? This beatdown happened without Caitlin Clark on the floor of the Indiana Fever, missing their superstar point guard. Still had 4 players in double figures, led by Kelsey Mitchell, 17 points. Meanwhile, the Sky, supposed dynamic duo, combined for 12 points on 4 of 12 shooting. If that doesn't make you question everything about this partnership, then you haven't been paying attention. The contrast couldn't be starker. On one side, you have the Fever playing like a cohesive unit, moving the ball with precision, finding open looks, and executing their game plan to perfection. On the other side, you have the Sky looking like 5 strangers who met in the parking lot and decided to play basketball. Together, the ball movement was non-existent, the chemistry was toxic, and the effort level ranged from questionable to outright embarrassing. Kamilla Cardoso came into this league with legitimate expectations. She was a 2024 NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player, a 2-time national champion at South Carolina, and the 3rd overall pick in the WNBA draft. She didn't sign up to be Angel Reese's basketball babysitter or to watch her professional career get derailed by someone who treats basketball like a fashion show with occasional scoring attempts.
Look at the frustration oozing out of Kamilla Cardoso. She gets a switch. Natasha Cloud, she's posting her up. We can't get an entry pass to Kamilla Cardoso.
The writing has been on the wall for weeks. Now reports have circulated about Cardoso's insanely bad body language when Ree goes into her signature routine of missing shots and refusing to pass during previous games. Cardoso has been spotted literally walking to the other end of the court mid-play because she couldn't bear to watch the basketball carnage unfold. That's not just frustration. That's a woman who's reached her limit and is actively broadcasting it to anyone with functioning eyeballs. But Saturday night's disaster took things to a whole new level, the most damning part of this whole situation. This was supposed to be the Sky statement game, playing at the United Center for the first time in franchise history in front of a sold-out crowd of over 20,000 fans who came expecting basketball excellence. Instead, they witnessed a masterclass in how to completely waste talent and opportunity. The Sky managed just 52 points, matching the worst offensive output in the WNBA this season. That's not just bad basketball. That's a war crime against the sport itself.
NBA, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky scored the lowest points since 2011. 52 measly points. 52 measly points, the lowest point total since 2011. Folks, there were people in the crowd.
And let's be brutally honest about Angel Reese's performance. 4 points in 27 minutes of action. 4 points. High school players put up better numbers during warm-ups. The woman grabbed 12 rebounds. And Reese supporters will point to that as evidence of her value. But 8 of those were offensive rebounds, meaning she was literally cleaning up her own mess. That's not hustle. That's basic basketball accountability gone wrong. Meanwhile, Cardoso managed 8 points and 4 rebounds in 21 minutes. But those numbers don't tell the real story. Every time she established position in the post, the ball would inevitably find its way to Ree, who would proceed to attempt shots that had no business being attempted by someone shooting 28. 6% from the field, you can see Cardoso's frustration building with each possession, her movements becoming more deliberate, her body language screaming what her professionalism wouldn't let her say out loud.
She is good at getting rebounds. She just sits there and rebounds herself 4 or 5 times a game. Usually doesn't even convert those 4 or 5 rebounds into a bucket even. She's got long arms. She's got good size. I'm sure she creates problems defensively. But she is the most uncoordinated, high-level basketball player around the basket that I've ever seen. I have never in my life seen somebody who is a national champion, high draft pick, famous for being a basketball player who can't do anything at all around the bucket whatsoever.
The coaching situation isn't helping matters either. Tyler Marsh came to Chicago with championship pedigree and promises of turning the Sky into a playoff contender. Instead, he's discovering that you can't coach basketball IQ into someone who doesn't possess it, and you can't build a winning culture around a player who treats team success like an optional accessory to personal statistics. Marsh has tried everything, moving Rita different. Positions changing the offensive system, bringing in veteran leadership, but nothing has worked. The Sky currently ranked dead last in assists and near the bottom in turnovers, which tells you everything you need to know about their basketball philosophy. When your star player treats passing like a foreign concept and basketball strategy like a suggestion, even the best coaches become glorified babysitters. A playoff picture for Chicago is looking grimmer by the day. With their current trajectory, the Sky are on pace to miss the postseason for the second time. In 3 years, the betting odds have them at just 53. 49% chance of making the playoffs, which is generous considering their current performance level. Teams don't make magical turnarounds when their foundation is built on dysfunction, and their supposed franchise players can't coexist on the same court.
I still believe that they're not giving Kamilla enough touches. I think that they give up on her too easily. I think when she seals, they literally can't get her the ball, and it's very confusing to me. And then when they do get her the ball, they throw it at her shin and get pissed at her when she's 6'7". Throw it up there. I mean, she's 6'7". Throw it up there. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And then when they do get her the ball, they throw it at her shin and get pissed at her when she's 67. Throw it up there. I mean, she's 67 up there. It just doesn't make sense to me. But here's where the situation becomes really interesting. Kamilla Cardoso has options. She's young, talented, and has already proven she can win at the highest level. Multiple sources suggest that she's already been in contact with her. Representation about exploring trade possibilities. The woman didn't leave a championship program at South Carolina to waste her prime years watching someone else torpedo a basketball team. The irony is almost poetic. The Sky thought they were getting a dynamic duo that would transform their franchise. Instead, they got a chemistry experiment that's about to explode in their faces. Cardoso represents everything good about modern basketball: skill, intelligence, team first mentality, and championship experience. Represents the Instagram generation of basketball: all flash, no substance, and an ego that writes checks her game can't cash.
Completely look offensively challenged. If Angel Reese continues to be your best player and only gives you 4 points on horrific percentages, they have questions to answer. They will be trying to get AZ Fudd next year. They will be trying to get Olivia Miles next year. They need a shot creator, an offensive creator, someone who can get their own shot, and as a bonus, perhaps get other people's shots.
The fan reaction has been swift, and brutal. Social media is flooded with posts about Cardoso's obvious frustration and calls for the Sky to choose between their 2 young stars. A consensus is overwhelming. If Chicago has to pick one, they should pick the player who actually understands basketball fundamentals over the one who thinks rebounding your own missed shots counts as productivity. What's particularly damaging is the timing. This isn't happening during a rebuilding year with lowered expectations. The Sky made significant moves this offseason specifically to compete. Now they brought in veterans, hired a proven coach, and positioned themselves as a playoff contender. Instead, they're witnessing the slow-motion collapse of what was supposed to be their championship foundation.
Chicago has to fix their veteran leadership in the post. They went and got veteran guards, hoping that the guards would mask the problem, but all they did was put a bad makeup job on it. Right now, Chicago fans are going to have to be patient. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, I can't wait till Angel gets out of Chicago. And to a certain extent, I agree. Angel would not be a starter if she went to any other team.
The most telling moment of Saturday's disaster came late in the fourth quarter with the game long deed and garbage time in full effect. Cardoso was still giving maximum effort, still fighting for every possession, still playing like the outcome mattered. Meanwhile, Ree looked like she was already planning her post-game outfit and thinking about her next TikTok video. That contrast tells you everything you need to know about these two players' priorities and mindsets moving forward. The Sky facing impossible decision. They can't continue with this dysfunctional partnership, but they also can't afford to lose Cardoso, who represents their best hope for future success. The smart move would be to build around Cardoso and find a way to move Ree, but that would require admitting that their grand experiment failed spectacularly. The clock is ticking on this situation. Every game, every poor performance, every visible sign of frustration from Cardoso brings them closer to a point of no return. Championship-level players don't wait around for dysfunctional situations to magically fix themselves. They demand excellence. And when they don't find it, they find somewhere else to showcase their talents.
Damn shame of yourself. All three of you, including you in the back who don't want to show your face, you acting like you writing something down when you not, and then you over there, you don't even want to be seen. You right here, you really starting to piss me off. How you still got Angel on the court, huh?
The question isn't whether Kamilla Cardoso is fed up with this situation. That much is obvious to anyone with functioning eyes. The question is how long she'll tolerate it before demanding a trade to a franchise that actually values winning over social media metrics based on her body language and recent comments that deadline might be approaching faster than the Sky organization realizes. Saturday's 27-point humiliation at the hands of a Caitlin Clarkless Indiana Fever might just be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. And when that happens, the Chicago Sky will have no one to blame but themselves for choosing flash over substance, ego over excellence, and Instagram likes over championship banners.